Hey, Zen Ginger, welcome, welcome, welcome. Ah, I know that Big Easy was streaming. Hey, Zen Ginger, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know. Whew. Hey, Jesse, I just got your message. I was just responding to your message. I think that may have been, hey, Pat Sonics. I think that may have been the advertising on my community tab. I don't know. Because first it told me that I wasn't able to go live. So, how's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing much better. I will not be coughing out a lung today. Still got on my work clothes because I had to run around and run some errands before I stream. So, if I look a little disheveled, that's because, God, I just got home. So, anywho, so the big Hillstream debate. So I've seen in the last month or so three different people, Aquarium Co-op, LRB Brett Lucas, LRB, yeah. I'm tired. And Rachel, hey, Thirsty Rabbit, welcome. Um, talk about hill streams, different people, different views about hill streams, how to keep them. Um, as many of you know, if you watch my videos, good day. Um, you know my setup. So let's talk about my setup. My hill streams are in a 55-gallon with 3 sponge filters, Planet, Driftwood, Rocks. They're in corridors. Temperature runs anywhere between 62, 68. TH is probably about 6.7, give or take. And they've bred for me in that environment. Um, and so all my research, of course, and I've talked about this numerous times, said that they needed to have heavy flow. They needed to have, there was even one manifold tank with power filters pumping out hundreds of gallons per hour. But that's not the case in that tank, and they are breeding. Um, Started out with 9, lost 2, have 7. Now I have 28 plus. 28 is the highest number I could count at some point. Hey, 44 Mad Guy, welcome. Now, I've given this a lot of thought. Number one, because that's just the type of person I am. I do a lot of thinking. I'm very, analytical. Hey, Rob, welcome. Thank you. Please hit that like button. Thank you very much. And most of the research, when I first started just looking at Hillstream tanks, most of the research said you need to be high flow. They recommended a manifold tank, mimicking the swift waters of the streams that they come from. Um, I mean, that was the traditional wisdom, for lack of a better term. So I will refer you to really know a lot about and more in depth about what I learned in my research. and how I'm keeping them, I refer you to slcaquatics.org and look under the blogs. And I wrote a extensive article on Susan of SLC Aquatics website about, you know, how I keep them, what I've learned from my research on them, and what I've learned from keeping them. So one thing that I think thought about when I was looking into the manifold and everything, I was like, I'm not going to do all that. I'm not. And if I can pretty much match the majority of the perimeters that were recommended as far as cool water, highly oxygenated, um, rocks for oswich to grow on and for algae to grow on. So I went with that. The one thing that sticks out to me with the high flow tank is unless you have like a 6 foot tank, and some are being kept in 6 foot tank. Aquarium Co-op, I think, had it in his 800 gallon. Corey, is this is a closed system, and realistically, in a closed system, can we truly mimic a high flowing stream? Yes, we can put power heads in. Yes, we can provide a lot of that, but it is a closed system. So when we're talking about creating, hey, Sand Creek Aquatics, welcome. We talk about creating biotopes and systems that are similar to their natural habitats. That's something to consider. This is a closed system. So my Hillstreams are doing very well. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. So, I recommend that you go back and look at all of those videos. Rachel received I think her video posted like 2 or 3 days ago. She acquired some which look very similar to mine. They are the Sewellia, but they look a little different. I don't know if that's because of the camera. But she has tons of fries, and the fry look just like the fry I have. Um, and then what her perimeters are. You can go and look at what Lucas of LRB Aquatics talked about, and you can go and watch the video that Corey did. Now, there are 4 of us and many others, and each of us, our systems are different. And so it really begs to differ as far as what exactly these fish need. Some are keeping them at warmer temperatures, some are keeping it at cool temperatures, no filter, no flow. So it's really just a mixed bag of experiences, which we often find in the hobby. So what I recommend is almost like looking considered like, hey, Punchy Pan, Punchy Pace, poor Punchy. Love you, sis. Hey, Pam. Um, so that is what um, my experience is. And so, it's very similar in the hobby. You'll hear different people with different experiences and different outcomes. That is just the nature of the beast, for lack of a better term. However, when I go back to best practices, I think that trying to somewhat mimic their natural habitat, cool water, some flow, heavy oxygenated, and flow can be described in a lot of different ways. My sponge filters that I use are rated for probably about total about 150 gallons. So there's a lots of bubbles, lots of surface agitation. The water is cool. And so, I'm not going to discount any of the other people's experiences. That's just not how I operate. But this is based on my experience. And then, of course, there's books out. There's one in particular that I have. I read it page per page. There's even some differences about how they breed and what their breeding environments are. So, which leads me to also believe that maybe nobody truly. I mean, we know where they're collected. We know what environment they're collected in, but one of the Seriously Fish, I believe it was the website, talks about collecting them in small puddles. So, the whole discussion I think is very interesting. I find it very fascinating. Um, and, I'll just, hey, Custom Wheels Horse Tracker Eric 83. Hi, welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming. And so, um, that is just how it is. That's the way it's going to be. And so, like I said, I don't want to discount anybody else's views. That's not how I operate. If you watch those three people and what I'm telling you, you're going to hear very different experiences, very different ideas about how they are. Um, I think that I feel comfortable in with my hill streams and the environment I have them in because they're breeding. And I think that if you have optimum or optimal levels or perimeters in your tank, your fish will breed. And so that is basically, yeah, puddles, Jesse. They talked about little isolated puddles. Now, I want to believe that in these puddles were a result of, how some areas where there's streams and rivers flood, and maybe once the water recedes, they find them in these spaces, but they were collected there. Now, how they got there, I can only um, guess or, hypothesize, for lack of a better term, but that's the way it is. So, yeah, so I just thought I would come in and put in my 2 cents, as a breeder of Hillstream Loaches, the Sewellia. Um, my ultimate dream, or I inspire to actually, hey, Recon, welcome, would be to, hey, Storm Rider, Melvin, welcome, welcome, would be to breed my Borneo suckers. Now that is fairly rare. And Rachel talks about this in her video. The Sewellia tend to be the easier one to breed. But I want to breed those Borneos, those not Suda McGill. I can't think of the name of it. The last part is punctualis. But the Borneo suckers, and so that is where my mind is. I know, Jesse. So I'm hoping to get some more and put them in a bigger tank, maybe a 55, lots of rocks. We talked about this, Jesse. Lots of rock, little gravel, maybe some sand, but mostly rocks. And you and I were talking about, how to support all those rocks. Because if you guys remember, I got 84 pounds of rocks, and I still have probably 70 pounds of those Mexican River rocks. So I will be saving those to hopefully do another 55 with the Borneos and get some more. And I don't know if I can sex them or not. I thought I could. I did see some of them that were a little bit broader, but I did notice I have two different types of Borneo suckers. Some are tan and some are blue, and then the bluer ones change colors. They're spotted. That they all have the spotting, but some look tan and some look like a almost like a blue. So yeah, so that is my 80 pounds. Yeah, I went crazy at the Rock Yard. I love that place. So I don't know if I've ever told you this story. I probably have. But when I was a little girl, we would travel. And whenever we would stop, like at a rest stop or even somebody's house or whatever, I collected rocks. So when we got ready to move, I had my box of rocks in the back of my closet. And my mother, I was just a teenager, so my mother was going through our stuff, helping us pack. And there was this huge box. And my mother went to grab it, and she was like, well, it wasn't a huge box, but it had lots of rocks in it. And my mother went to pick it up, and she was like, oh my God, what's in here? And it was rocks. So even at a young age, and I like the ones that had like sparkles, the marcasite or whatever that mineral is that makes them sparkle. So most of them were sparkly rocks. So she told me I could not take all those rocks with me to the new house. So I had to pick out like maybe 5 or so of my favorites, and she dumped the rest of them in the backyard. But my grandmother had the house, so it wasn't like I totally lost them. But I wasn't able to take all those rocks with me. That's weird, that rock lady. Jesse, I just love rocks, especially diamonds. Anyway, so yeah, so that was it. So next on the agenda is, and she's not here, but if somebody would post 2 links for me, I would be very appreciative. One would be for Candy's Overhauls GoFundMe, and the other would be for Aquafund's Moving Fund. If somebody, one of my moderators, would post those. So I've been really thinking about my 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. I am at 1,000. I think I'm at 1,060 or something. So thank you so much. I appreciate you subscribing. So I've been really thinking about, the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And I don't want to disappoint anyone, but I'm thinking that I might take that money that I was going to use to buy those gift certificates and give to both Candy and Aquafunk. And if you all are in agreement, give me a thumbs up. If you still want me to do a giveaway, give me a thumbs up. But I got a feeling that everybody thinks that those are two very worthy causes. As you know, Candy's husband, I don't think, has been released to go back to work, and they really need our help. And of course, my nephew Funk is, has a house that is causing his daughter and possibly all of them to have some health issues, which will eventually long term cause them all. So we need to get them out of that house. And so I urge you to give. And I think that I will take the money that I was going to do. And I apologize if I'm disappointing anyone, but I just think I can't see myself taking $100 and giving out gift certificates when I could take that money and give to both of them. So that's what I plan to do in the next couple of days. Jesse, Miss Diva, thing one half of the new Fantastic Four Marvel Comics first family superheroes. Yeah, so that's that. I know Candy's not here because Corey happens to stream the same time I do, which is perfectly fine. I try to talk to her at least every other day or every day. if you are in connection with Candy, please consider reaching out to her and just sending her words of encouragement. And of course, I give Funk a hard time all the time. So that's that. But yeah, so that's my life as a cover girl right now. Everything's doing good. I am getting another aquarium. Um, so as I tried to tell you last week in the midst of my coughing fit, and thank you guys for coming and sticking by me during that thing. That was a mess. But I was very sick. I was very sick, and I'm just thankful to have gotten over it. And now they're talking about this coronavirus, and students are starting to wear masks, and people are all worked up. And I work heavily with students now, more closely than I did before. So I'm just like, oh yeah, just really trying to watch myself. Which one am I? Wait a minute. What? What did I miss? Thank you, everybody, for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And we'll be doing another giveaway soon. Yes, we will. So look forward to that. Um, so I was over in the office next to mine, the suite next to mine, and I walked in and I saw a 10-gallon and some um, was it flu ball stratum? I think it was. And so immediately I knew that somebody was getting ready to do a planted tank. Those are just not two random things that people will have. And so I asked a student at the front desk, I said, whose stuff is this? And he said, oh, well, that's Angie's. And I was like, really? And so then the girl that I went over there to see, she was like, oh, you have aquariums? And I said, do I have aquariums? And she was like, oh, well, I keep cichlids. And I was like, really? And so by that time, Angie had walked up, which I already know Angie. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to do a planted tank. I thought it would be a nice addition to the office. And I was like, that is so cool. I said, I'm a plant nerd. And if you want to know anything about plants, or a place wants some sources to buy them, or you're going to get them at the local fish store, or hopefully not one of the big box stores. Please let me know. I know a lot about planet tanks. And so she says, yeah, I have two aquariums at home. One is saltwater and one is empty that was a freshwater. And I think she said 50 gallons, but she sent me a link so I could see what it looks like to get the dimensions, and it's actually a 60-gallon. So, and I'm going to, that's going to be the home because my Amicas are in a 20-gallon breeder right now, 40-gallon breeder right now. So I am going to, because I've been following Father Fish, which congrats, Father Fish, if you see this in the replay, you got your 1,000 subscribers and monetized. That was quick. He is moving. So congratulations, Father Fish, if you're watching this in the replay. And so I think I'm going to do the deep substrate because it's a tall tank. So I'm looking forward to that. So look forward to those videos. And so this is going to have to go in the fish room. So the fish room project is going to have to uh, turn the fire up under the fish room project because I have nowhere else to put any tanks. Nowhere else to put any tanks but in that fish room. So that's going to happen. He's live right now. Oh my God, Father Fish. Oh well, hey, what do you do? What do you do? We try to not to step on toes, but hey, I'm not mad at him. He's monetized. I love Father Fish. If you haven't seen his new tour of his fish store, he's got tons of really cool things. It looks like he's kind of a cichlid keeper. He had a lot of cichlids, but you don't see the super chat button yet. So maybe he's not monetized. I don't know. But I think he said in his video yesterday that he was monetized, so maybe he may not have turned it on yet. He may not realize he has to turn that on, so and set up an account and everything. So we'll see. I'm sure somebody has given him some. He's a very bright guy, and it's so interesting. Now this is going to be funny. So my grandfather is from Tampa, and whenever I look and looks, I mean, very fair, white hair, didn't have a beard, but whenever I looked at Father Fish, I said he reminds me of my grandfather. Well, they live kind of close together. Who knows? We may be related. Wouldn't that be funny? But anyway, but whenever I looked at him, he reminded me of my grandfather without the beard. He just looks a lot like him, white hair, everything. But so congratulations to Melvin. I know you hit 1,000 subscribers, so congratulations to you, Storm Rider Aquatics. I'm very proud of you. Best wishes to you. And so yeah, so that is some of the latest and greatest. But the main thing was the Hillstream debate, the Hillstream discussion. And so, but you can learn all great fish keepers. Rachel is my fishy god sister in my head. So, I listen to her. She actually inspired my Hillstream tank and has inspired me to rescape that tank. So yeah, and I just bought some Bovitis from which I love from H2O Plant. So if you're looking for some Bovitis, which seems to be pretty rare these days, H2O Plants had it. They may still have some. I bought two, and I think he said he had four. So yes, I'm already. Hey, Matthew Moore, good to see you. Miss you. How's our mermaid doing? Give her a big hug for me. So yeah, I get to be the human torch. I'll take that, Melvin. Oh my God. So Melvin on a superhero kick. Oh my God. It is so good to see you, Matthew. Good to see you. So earlier today in Big Easy Scream, where are you, Big? Is Big still streaming? I saw Eric B, which all of you who used to hang out with us in Big Easy Stream know who Eric is. That's always a pleasant surprise. Eric is one of the coolest, most I mean, he just has a personality, larger than life personality, and we used to all hang out and have so much fun. So it was really good to see him. That's fine. Mark knows I don't have no problem with it. He had a nice panel of some new people. So if you have the chance, go over and tell Big Easy Diva said hi. Matter of fact, just go over there and say Diva Raid. Go over and say, just log out and go over to Big Easy Scream and say Diva Raid, just to mess with him. Yeah, so yeah, I know. He said he still has his I call them bumblebee fish, but they're zebra obliquidins. Am I saying that correctly? Beautiful fish. We're fairly rare in the hobby. Beautiful cichlids. Yeah, it was really good to see him today. It really was. It always is because I consider Eric a great friend. So yeah, so everything else is doing really well. My one of my lights is acting up, and I'm getting some hair algae. So that's my flu ball 3.0. Don't know what that's about. One of my timers is broken. I keep forgetting to get a timer, so I've got some blackbeard algae on my angel tank. Puffers are doing good. Everybody's doing good. I think I'm going to combine a couple of tanks. I'm going to put I've still got a 16-gallon acrylic. I think I'm going to make that my mud guppy tank. Because I've got tons of mud guppies, even though I probably got rid of 100 mud guppies last year. You know how guppies are, live breeders. I'll be there in a minute. That's my grandson. Hey, Big J, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so let me go help him. Stand by, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back because if I don't help him, he's going to keep coming in here. So hold on 1 second. What's wrong? Okay, I'm back. So I got a little bit of a lag here. So so I think I'm gonna just make me a big old mud guppies because I love mud guppies. I got rid of tons of them last year, and I sold some of them at work, and but you gotta love your guppies, right? And they throw so many different beautiful colors. Just like I have a pure red one in my Hillstream tank that came from just out of the blue. It's pure red. It's a gorgeous red. They have so many genes and mixed up in them that you get endlers, you get lyre tails. I had lyre tails come from them. And they're just so beautiful and they're so cool to watch. So I'll just keep my guppies. Maybe at some point I might sell Michael's Fish Room some mud guppies. I know he does mud guppy packs or whatever, because guppies, they just keep, it's like they grow and grow and multiply and multiply. But I just really like them, and the kids love looking at them, and I love looking at the different colors and everything. So, yeah, so that's about it. Any questions about the hill streams or, who else? I know Jesse has hill streams. Does anybody in the chat else have Hillstream loaches like the Sewellia? I think there's the ones I have are the Sewellia linealata. I think they are. Does anybody else keep hill streams? I know, like I said, I know Jesse does, but so yeah, I guess Thursday night has become the streaming night. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so yeah, I still have the red saddleback eats right from my pipette. Oh, that's cool. Too funny. Yeah. But I love them. Diva, you're too funny. I'm just so hey, you know, yay, lighthearted, dealing with it, dealing with stuff. But keep it moving. But like I said, my dream, I aspire to get those Borneos to breed. If I get those suckers, pun intended, to breed, it's gonna be on and popping. I know that's an old saying. I'm gonna be happy because I take great pride in breeding, and hashtag breeding is pleasure. And just having somebody say, well, these haven't been bred that much in captivity. And so I love Hillstream species. Matter of fact, I'd like to get some different types. At one point, I wanted to have a whole rack of different types, and that still may come to pass. But I am in the process of looking into retiring. And so once I retire, the sky is the limit. Once I can really devote more time into my tanks and, breeding projects. That will be my retirement. Hello, Vincent. Welcome to the stream. Hey, have you ever used Ben's Vault? No, I have not, but there may be someone in the stream, in the chat that may have. Um, I don't use chemicals in my tanks, so I haven't had to. Well, I take that back. I did use a fungus guard at one point because I thought one of my puppers that passed away had fungus. So I have used a fungus medicine. I don't know what the name of it is. Maybe someone in the HC Aqua who is a very knowledgeable fish keeper says he has. Pan Cure. Okay. Pan Cure. C. What is it used for? I use it for planaria and hydra. Okay. So is it a pig dewormer or a cow? Is it a livestock dewormer? Is that what that is? I have a video on how to use it for hydra. I know it's a dewormer, but I can't remember what type of dewormer. Dog dewormer. Okay. Yeah, I've been very lucky, knock on wood, that I haven't had to use anything like that. But like I said, we do have some very knowledgeable fish keepers. 54 Punchy, um, HC Aqua, or Punchy Paints, 44 Mad Guy, almost everybody, Big J, Storm Rider. We have some very knowledgeable fish keepers in the stream. So, yeah. Lynn Ginger, oh my God, so many guppies. Yeah, guppies are just so. Long time ago when I was researching guppies, I think they say that some one of the Asian groups calls them million fish because they breed so much. So I thought that was really interesting. You're welcome, 44 Mad Guy. This is one Amazon Mark Safeguard. Okay. Thanks for the help. You're very welcome. I'm glad we were able to help. That's one thing about the fish community. People are always willing to help and give advice and give good advice. And that's what I love about it because I've kept fish for years and years, but never to this degree in the last probably 5 years or so. I've amassed a great deal of tanks and they've grown and grown and are continuing to grow. And a lot that I've learned is from, people in the fish community, in chats, always willing to help, and provide wisdom and knowledge, which is so important. Thanks, Punchy. Appreciate it. So Vincent, after you answer Jesse, could you tell us what kind of fish you keep, just out of curiosity? So if anybody cares, let's see. I have puffers, Borneo suckers, corridoras, angelfish, guppies, and endlers. I have cares fish. I have Amica splendens, um, golden white clouds, regular white cloud minnows, Sue McGill. What Sue McGill do I have? Signifers. What else do I have? Hillstream Loaches. Is that it? I guess that is. All kind of snails, mostly mystery snails and pond snails. Yeah, I have tons of plants, tons of plants. So I'm really looking forward to doing that deep substrate because I want to see. I'm going to really document my planet tanks and their growth and how they do. I'm trying to decide to dose or not to dose. Probably not to dose because I'm thinking of doing something like the substrate lasagna, like LRB does, and like Joseph just did, or do the I'm really want to do, but I'm still a little shy doing the mixture that Father Fish did. I'm really trying to decide. It is, whoa, I'm telling you guys, it is really, really hard decision. Um, so what I'm going to do is before I put the micas in there, I'm going to probably run that tank for a couple of months. So I probably am not going to move the fish for at least 2 months. I'm going to document everything I do. I'm going to document their growth. So this will be an experiment for sure. And of course, I'll take you guys along and videotape everything. Um, hey, Vanoski, welcome. Yeah, I got too much to list. So did the person tell us what type of fish they keep yet? Hey, Griffin Fish Room, welcome. Yeah, I really want to document it because I really want to be able to, like I said, even though Father Fish has documented it, I just want to document and trying some different, I guess, stem plants. And then I wonder with the deep substrate and rhizome plants, do the nutrients from the substrate seep into the water column to feed like the Nubius and the Blobitis and the Java fern? Or will I need to dose in order to be able to sustain those root feeders? So it'll be really interesting to see how it evolves. Aquarium Cowboy, welcome, welcome. I'm really looking forward to it because I'm a big old nerd. Never really knew how much into the sciences I was in until I started keeping fish. Never really considered myself a science person. I guess computer science because I was a programmer. I did programming at one time, but not biological sciences. Never thought of myself as somebody who would be so, into the different, fish breeds and species and genus. Never imagined in a million years, but I love it. And it's funny because my new boss is a fish keeper, by the way, too, which is really cool. Um, when I talk to him, he goes, "You are all in, aren't you?" Because he hears me using some of um, the Greek names, and I never really realized just how deeply I was into it until he made that statement. Like, yeah, especially when it comes to the plants, being a botanist, aquatic botanist, or what are they calling each other now? Aquatic horticulturist. So yeah, I guess I am. I guess I am into those types of sciences, but there's just so much to learn, so much to do, so much to Um, you know, it's just fascinating. It really is. You can't help but just really feel as though you're learning. There's so much to learn. There's so many different things, and there's, just like the whole Hillstream thing, it's just so much. I mean, we've got four people with varying degrees of experience with these different fish. I mean, with this species. But I mean, some things are common, some are very different. It's just really interesting. I love it. I really do. It's so much. I was originally a biology major, but I switched to computer science. Really? I didn't know that, Jesse. Yeah, well, I was a computer science major. I don't know if I. So when I was in my biology class, like in high school, and we dissected animals and stuff, I wasn't that fascinated with that. It wasn't, like, oh wow, look at the intestines and look at the, all the stuff we used to have to do. But when it comes to fish, it's just total. I'm just totally, totally just fascinated by them. Um, Thank you, Jesse. Jesse is on it, boy. And so, just I mean, I became fascinated with hill streams from watching Rachel O'Leary, Honest Engine. I mean, that seeing her hill stream tank and seeing those hill streams just sparked my interest. And I knew, and you can ask Jesse because he will tell you, that I had to have a Hillstream tank and I had to take 6 months to plan it. And I had to bug Jesse and them about driftwood and rocks and gravel. And now I want to change it to sand. And I've been bugging them about sand. Because I rely on my fish community and my fish friends and fish fam. Y'all know how I feel about that word. I use it loosely. Um, to ask them what their opinions are, what they recommend, what kind of like sand. Who knew? If you ever have you ever looked at different have you ever researched sand? How many different types there are? And there's a lot of different sands. There's a lot of different sands. I mean, you got pool filter sand, clay sand, which a lot of clay sand people don't recommend. You've got the carob seed stuff. You've got beach sand, Crete sand, which is the Crete. Is that the Crete? Is that the play sand? You got play sand. I mean, there's just so many different types. And if you don't ask somebody, I don't want to go buy the wrong thing and then be like, God, I wish I wouldn't have bought that. So I ask people. So just saying. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Go check out those other people's videos on Hill Streams. I recommend you watch it and, come back and comment on this video. Tell me what you learned or what you think. Or I love to hear, I'm a person that is all about diversity. And when I say diversity, I don't mean diversity as far as race or anything like that. I mean, well, I do mean race, but also when you talk about diversity, you talk about diversity of thought. And so when you bring in, and that's what I learned as a practitioner, when you bring in different types of people from different backgrounds, of different ethnicities and different cultures, you bring in diversity of thought, because some people's thought processes often formed by the culture in which they are raised. And so that is important, because I think that being open minded is so important. And being in this hobby, I've learned that being open minded, um, that's probably one of the biggest messages. Like, for example, I have cichlids, but they're not really considered. They're cichlids is their genus, but they're angelfish. I never really thought of angelfish as cichlids, but they are. And patience, absolutely. Yeah, I want to have a dirty tank with sand cap using pool filter and sand for my next tank. Yeah, I'm super duper excited to do this. I am geeked. I am so hyped to do this. I cannot tell you guys. I am just like chopping at the bit. Primarily because, as we all know, many of us who've been around for a while, the dirted tank, which who talked about dirted tanks probably more than anybody other than Dustin's fish tanks, um, that scared the bejesus out of me. I was so scared because I was hearing, oh my God, there's going to be pockets of gas. And when those gases release, it's going to gas out your fish. But then, if you watch Father Fish, he talks about anaerobic, and he talks about how it works and the chemistry of it all. And he really put my mind at ease as far as a dirted tank. Now, Father Fish has got a very interesting recipe for a dirted tank. If you go and watch his videos, that one video I watched that he was putting that concoction together, he had osmocot or coat or whatever that stuff is, baking soda, correct me if I'm wrong, uh, dirt, sand, I can't even remember everything, but it was a lot of ingredients that I would not have ever imagined would go into a dirted tank. And so I think it's his 55-gallon where he shared that recipe. I'm calling it a recipe because I don't know what else. The mixture recipe. And I was just like floored. I mean, he put a lot of different mixtures in there. One of the things that I would like, I can't remember if he put in there, but I was thinking maybe just some clay or miracle mud. And if you watch One Fish, Two Fish RLC, she ordered some of that. I think it's called Miracle Mud, and I can't remember the company. But if you go and look at her videos, I'm sure you can find it. Um, and I think I'm wondering, and you know what? I kind of don't want to mess with the. I kind of don't want to mess with his recipe, but I kind of want to put my own spin on it because that's just how I do things. But then if the results aren't right, then I'll have nobody to blame but myself. But I was thinking when I move those mud guppies, I'll have two open tanks because I've got them in two different tanks. And maybe I'll do them on a smaller scale and just kind of experiment. It'll just be my little experiment and we'll see how they do. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. Yeah, it was One Fish, Two Fish RLC ordered some stuff I think called Miracle Mud. As you all know, this is always like 2 nights before I wash my hair, so my hair's itchy. And so it was like yeah, she ordered, and I can't remember the name of the company that she ordered from. I don't, and this was been some time ago, so I don't even know if they're still in business. but she ordered some Miracle Mud and added that to one of her tanks. So, and she has beautiful tanks. She has gorgeous tanks. So definitely want to check that out. So anyway, let me see. I hope I've covered everything. I didn't make notes tonight because I was so busy. I usually sit down and do notes. Hey, Select Pat, welcome. Do notes before the stream, but I didn't have time. But as I mentioned before, I've decided that instead of doing my 100 subscriber giveaway, I am going to take that money and give to both Candy and Aquafunk. And so if somebody wants to plug in those two GoFundMe's, I would really appreciate it. And we are wishing Candy the best. And dig deep, guys. I know that there's some lean times going on, but Candy really needs our help, and so does Funk. So we get him out of that horrible house. And so thank you all for coming. Thank you. Got 10 still here and 17 likes. So thank you for the thumbs up. If you're watching the replay, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. We're doing some playlist raids. Rob93 Aquatics, Bob Kaler, and who else we're doing a playlist raid for? Rob, are you still here? Who else are we playlist raiding? Please do playlist raid for me. I think I'm quite a bit away, but hopefully I'll get there soon. So yeah, but we're definitely trying to give Rob. Oh, and Jesse, doggone it, how can I forget Jesse? HC Aqua. We're doing playlist raids. If you don't know what that is, what you do is you take your device or extra device, click on a playlist. It'll play automatically and just let it play. I put mine on at work in the background. I put them on my phone at night when I go to bed, just turn the volume down to help them get them watch hours so they can get monetized. I know Jesse's very close. I know that Rob is very close. So HC Aqua, Rob93 Aquatics, Bob Kaler, please run their playlists. Run my playlist if you're so inclined. If you're watching this in the replay, thank you so much for coming. Please hit that thumbs up button. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Go Kansas. Don't hate me for that, but Kansas is the underdog. I like to root for the underdog. We're not having a Super Bowl party, but I'm going to cook all the Super Bowl foods for my hubby, so he'll be happy. So have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy football if you can. Oh, I would be remiss without mentioning this. My heart and my prayers go out to all of those lost in the helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant and his beautiful daughter, Gigi. I don't want to start crying on stream, but it just breaks my heart. I think about his wife, Vanessa, and those other families and what they must be going through. So if you're a praying person, I ask that you pray for them. If you're not a praying person, I ask that you send warm, healing, and comforting light their way. God bless you, Kobe, Gigi, and the others. And as always, guys, keep it splashy and not trashy. SLC Wave, Diva out. Thank you for your help, Jesse. Appreciate you. You were awesome.